Alright. What is up, everyone? Multi-Apples here, bringing you another video and live stream on Twitch. Let's go ahead and get started. So yeah, I'm playing Madden NFL 07. And yeah, I'm live on Twitch right now. It's 3:45 p.m. August 29th, 2024. Currently here where I'm at, and yeah, it should be uploaded today or tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll see. But the NFL Combine. All right. Alright, this isn't going to be a good time. 6.54, that's not good. See if we can do any more. Nope, we can only do 3. We'll need enough time for 3. Not bad, if you ask me. Ooh, that's incomplete. So the Eagles are actually working us out. So far so good. Got it to Jabbar Gaffney, which is good. Shoot, that's intercepted. That's not good. Got it to Pinkston, and we scored with him. Incomplete. At least we managed to successfully complete the pass there. Shoot. Okay, that's tipped. So 3,800 is our final score. It's not as good as I'd like it to be, but it's better than I thought it would be, so everything's relative. Let's go and simulate all the days prior to the NFL draft, and let's start the NFL draft. We've been drafted by San Diego. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's actually simulate all 4 games of the preseason. All right. Now let's go ahead and simulate the preseason. Alright, first game is against the Oakland Raiders. The Chargers were in San Diego at this point. They're now in Los Angeles, and the Raiders were in Oakland at the time this game came out, and they're now in Las Vegas. So couple of team name changes, and a couple of teams have relocated since Madden NFL 07 came out. So actually, one of the former names of a team's offensive, I'm not going to repeat it out of respect for the group of people that it offends. I'm not going to repeat the name. Another one they need to change, in my opinion, Because I know some people consider it offensive. I'm going to expand the quarters to 15 minutes maybe next time, so... And this is the 2006 season, so... I guess we're stuck watching the games, though. Could be worse. Hopefully our defense will hold up. Oh, man, you know... I now realize that, you know, the, Chargers were really one of the best teams in not only the AFC, but they were consistently one of the best teams in the NFL in the 2000s decade. And it is really a shame that they never won a Super Bowl with Phillip Rivers as a quarterback, because he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and I think he is one of the best. I think he is the best quarterback to never win a Super Bowl, let alone play in one. And I think Matt Ryan is the second best. But I've only been following the NFL since the 2000s decade. So to be as consistently good as Phillip Rivers was and not make it to the Super Bowl, you know, it's just bad luck. Because his main issues were two teams, mainly the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning, and well, later the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning. But Peyton played like for 1 or 2 seasons with Denver, and then you had Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were practically unstoppable for much of that decade. So. And just realized another thing another good team they were playing against is Pittsburgh as well. Pittsburgh was pretty good in the 2000s. It's a shame as a football player, Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers, and now Los Angeles Chargers, never win a Super Bowl. Just realized LaDainian Tomlinson, who played, is another good player that never won. One of the best running backs of all time, and perhaps the best running back never to win a Super Bowl. Perhaps. I'll let you in the comments section on YouTube debate that. Alright. Halfback slam. Unfortunately, we lost 1 yard. So my first regular season pass of the career. We're gonna get sacked. I wanted to pass, but I didn't have enough time. So. Oh, that's gonna be a touchdown. Nope, nope, nope. Tackle saving touchdown right there. That's another good stop. Huh. 4-yard gain. I think Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez are the two best tight ends not to win a Super Bowl. Because I remember Antonio Gates played for the San Diego Chargers. So. Hopefully our offensive line will be better. And it's hard to believe this game came out 18 years ago. I remember playing this on my old Game Boy Advance when it first came out. It's the second ever Madden I got. Came out in 2006, so I was 11 at the time. Ah, shoot. So yeah, I was 11 at the time. Is that pass interference? Or, yes, pass interference, thankfully. Lorenzo Neal, I think is his name. I remember him because I used to play and watch American football a lot. At least the video games. I'd play more of the video games than I would watch it, but I would watch it whenever I had the chance. Yeah, Lorenzo Neal. So I remember him because I remember in the 2000s, still even to a lesser extent now, they always show me the teams that are very good at each time slot on a Sunday, and the Chargers were always very good. Remember Keenan McCardle as well. Oh shoot, that was incomplete. I thought we had made the pass, so. I still remember the 2007 season, though. That was the year the Patriots went 16-0. And I remember that Super Bowl. And how shocking it was to see the Giants beat. I know this was the year before. This game came out the year before that season. This is the 2006 season. I'm talking about the 2007 season. So, in which New York upset New England. So yeah, I remember that how shocking it was. I wanted New England to finish, because I remember at the time I wanted New England to finish the season undefeated, and because it would have been the first time since the '70s that a team had finished a season in the NFL undefeated, but they lost in the finals they lost in the Super Bowl to Eli Manning and the New York Giants. So that was a very historic Super Bowl. So. Hopefully we can complete a pass. Nope, we're sacked. There we go. There's our first NFL completion. Our first official NFL completion. And it'll be our first official NFL touchdown as well to Antonio Gates. Man, I still can't get over the fact that this is roughly 18 years old. It came out 18 years ago this month. Man. I'm 29 now. Oh man. I was 11 when this came out. Oh man. Fumble, yes! Godfrey got it. That's good. Can someone explain to me how it's been 18 years since this game came out? Oh man. I don't know how to put in the words. Played Madden a lot during my childhood. It basically taught me American football because I, at the time, well, I'm still now, none of my family members and I, well, outside of me and my younger sister really grew up, it's in my immediate family, grew up in the United States. Both my parents grew up in another country, so American football was not popular in that country, in the countries they grew up in. Shoot. Oh, and we missed a tackle there. I believe we throw a pick 6 now. So yeah, American football is not very popular when my parents grew up, let alone now in the countries they grew up in. So they didn't really understand it. So and even today they're not really interested in it. So I really taught myself American football via this game. So didn't hurt. Oh, did the game freeze? Nope. It didn't hurt like maybe a year or two after I started playing Madden. I think it was 2 years. I think it was maybe the year after I started playing Madden. I played one season of American football in middle school. Played 1 year in high school as well, so. There we go, we got the pass. Ah, shoot. I thought that'd be right to him, so I was wrong, clearly. The heck? Where was our offensive lineman? We were sacked there and we fumbled as I was about to throw it. Okay, the interception is my fault, but the sack and fumble isn't because I had no time to get that off. And when I was as soon as I was about to throw it, I got hit. So it's crazy. Let me see if I can change the camera angle on this. Nope. At least it was a 1 yard gain to Osgood. That's gonna be intercepted. Nope, that's actually That's actually caught. For once, we actually managed to get it to Keenan McCardle. I had to dump it off to someone. I didn't think I'd get it to LaDainian Tomlinson because I thought it would be intercepted at worst. And again, no blocking whatsoever there. I can't get a good pass off if all the defenders if practically the entire defensive line is coming at me as soon as I get possession. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but I can't process getting the ball, looking for where the receivers are, and making a good decision in that quick of amount of a time. So, kick off. So again, let's check out gameplay. I really wish I may have to check it out after this game, and maybe putting it at 15 minutes may be too much. So 15-minute quarters, so we are 5 for 11, so that's what, just under 50%. Yeah, I may have mentioned this in a previous video, I don't really remember. I played 2 seasons of football, American football. I'm glad I did not play more, because this was like really when, like, the time I grew up in was the mid-2000s. So like I was born in the 90s, but I grew up in the 2000s, So I was born in the mid-90s, so I was born in 1995, February 1995, so I was a teenager in the 2000s and early 2010s, so that's going to be a touchdown, thankfully, nice. And basically the time I grew up was when we were just starting to understand how serious concussions were and how it affects the brain and brain damage. Like when CTE really became more well known and prominent was in the 2000s decade, and it really became like an issue in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I know when a bunch of former players and their loved ones sued the NFL. If I remember correctly, it was like the families of maybe any deceased victims in the NFL. So, like, because I remember there's this whole the whole controversy surrounding concussions and whether football was dangerous. And you know, like it or not, it is. There's unfortunately a lot of head injuries and a lot of concussions with tackle football, and how that affects the brain. And a lot of times it doesn't affect it in a good way. So I'm kind of glad that I actually didn't play it more than 2 seasons. I kind of wish I didn't at all, because I know I to my knowledge and to my memory, I've never had a head injury. I'm lucky in that sense. I've never had a head injury, but I don't doubt that, with the amount, I played offensive line, so I was getting hit, and I was trying to hit people I played offense and defensive line, so I was hitting, and trying to hit people every play, so that's not really good for your head. So, let me wipe my glasses, because every time I put it on, I'm sweating a little bit. I went for a walk, and I don't really have a cloth with me to help wipe everything. But I went for a walk, and I actually came home, and it's really hot here. Actually did not take a look at the amount of the temperature outside, but it's still really hot despite it being after 4. So it was around, I didn't come home till about 3:30, 3:45, so about half an hour ago. There's a good block, so yeah, I can. Yeah, unfortunately we fumbled it. That one is my fault though, but I'm not. Even though it's my fault in my defense, I don't really know how to control the fumbles or not. So that time was my fault. I should have just passed then. So yeah, oh yeah, Quinn Jammers. I remember Quinn Jammer. He was a very talented defensive player for San Diego. So now I know I talk like I could have went to the NFL with the way I played football, but I was nowhere near good enough to go to the NFL. And I know even it can still be pretty dangerous even for high schoolers or middle schoolers or actually any age American football. So that was what I'm trying to get across, that it's for any age group, whether you're an adult or a kid or teenager, regardless of your age, it's a pretty dangerous sport. Yes, the rules have improved to make it safer, but it's still kind of dangerous compared to other sports. So, in that sense, I'm glad that there are more rules to protect players and player safety, but I really don't see how you can get rid of, head injuries and serious head injuries without, changing a lot of the sport, like getting rid of tackling, or the blocking or something. You'd have to. Oh, that went out of bounds, thankfully. So you'd have to you'd really have to significantly change the sport of football to actually make it, to reduce the amount of risk or amount of head injuries in American football. You'd have to significantly change the sport. And I don't really see it doing that happening anytime soon. So The only other option I can see is, we have to advance science enough. As much as science has improved since the NFL was founded in 1920, I don't really see how much. I don't really see how you know, it happening. That we'd have to reverse, brain damage, and I'm not smart enough to come up with ways to do that. So hopefully there are people working on it. Hopefully there will be a solution, like a way to reverse brain damage, and all these, illnesses that sadly affect the elderly, like, and illnesses that affect, brain damage, like, CTE or Alzheimer's or ALS or any of that. Hopefully, and I'm sure there are ways to reverse. I'm sure there are people working on it, but to my knowledge, we haven't found. At the time of this live stream, we haven't really found any ways to reverse it. I'm not really sure. I'm sure we've made a lot of progress, but oh, we're sacked. Wanted to pass, but I didn't have enough time. We're gonna lose this game though. 7 for 13, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 125 yards. I know we're a week away from the first official NFL game in the regular season. So, I'm excited to watch football. American football, that is. Most of the passing yards have been to Antonio Gates, but most of the receptions have been to other players. So it's just second and inches. So, hold on. Oh gosh, I don't remember which number it is, but like the first Super Bowl I remember following was the one between the Steelers and the Seahawks. That's like around the time. That's like the first NFL game I saw, whether it be in person or in TV. And then I remember the next Super Bowl between the Bears and Colts. We cannot get the first down. We were close, though. Had we not gotten sacked, we would have, actually. I think... Yeah, that actually Bears Colts Super Bowl is historic because it's the first time we had 2 African-American head coaches coach in a Super Bowl game. So that's pretty exciting to see for me. Now, I'm a huge history. There are 2 things I like. I like watching sports, and I love, watching history. And to see history being made in sports is something I thought was pretty cool. Herm Edwards, I think, was the coach of the Indianapolis Colts at the time during that Super Bowl. I actually remember the day after it happened discussing it in my Spanish class with my classmates and my teacher. So that was pretty cool. And of course, I remember the first Patriots-Giants Super Bowl. Another game that could have made history, but didn't, because the Patriots didn't win. So yeah. But you know what? The New York Giants, no one, myself included, gave the New York Giants a chance to win the Super Bowl. Maybe no one outside of New York, gave the Giants a chance to win. And Um, they proved everybody wrong in that game. They proved why they should be called Super Bowl champions. They earned the right, and they're. Because I still remember that famous David Tyree helmet catch, and it happened. So, not trying to rub it into to the faces of Patriots fans, but because to go 18-1 in any season is difficult, let alone to go 19-0. To finish a 16 season game, regular season game, undefeated, or has only been done once, and New England actually did that. Actually, in they even had a regular season game where they beat the New York Giants. So. We passed it to Osgood. Osgood's going to get a significant amount of yards. Hopefully a touchdown. Yes, that's going to be a touchdown. Yeah, I think since the 72 Dolphins, we haven't seen a team finish, the regular season and postseason undefeated. Preseason really doesn't matter, so. And now that's actually expanded to the 17-game season. The preseason really doesn't matter in terms of finishing the season undefeated, because really it's more for determining who's going to be on the roster than anything else. So. Got some Diet Pepsi with me, by the way. I love Diet Pepsi. Pepsi isn't my favorite soda, but I like it. I've actually done a good job on cutting back, because I remember I got sick during the Italy trip, and that's because I drank too much soda to begin with. And if I drink too much soda, I get sick. So, I actually had to cut down the amount of Coke I drank, I should say. That's a better word. The amount of Coca-Cola I drank. And, yeah, because I notice if I drink too much of soda, I'll get any kind of soda. It doesn't have to be Coke. It doesn't have to be Pepsi. It doesn't have to be one specific brand. Any kind, and I will get sick. So. Shoot, incomplete. Don't really remember the sound. Didn't really listen to the soundtracks of Madden NFL 06 and 07, but I would listen to the soundtracks of Madden NFL 08 a lot, and Madden NFL 9, and Madden NFL 10 and 11, and Madden had a good soundtrack in my opinion, and actually, sports games actually have. I know not all games tend to have copyrighted music in them, but sports games usually tend to have good. Usually tend to have good soundtracks of the games that do. And for some reason, Madden usually, of all the sports games released on a yearly basis, Madden usually had the best soundtracks, in my opinion. I don't know if anyone else would agree with me on that, but my opinion is Madden usually had the best. So my superstar is actually player info, individual stats, career stats. So 229 passing yards. Wait a second. Oh yeah, because in 2004 and 2005, Philip Rivers was back up to Drew Brees. And he had AJ Feely, who was a backup to Donovan McNabb. So I just want to quickly say sorry for showing any offensive team names and logos, by the way. Kurt Warner is the greatest undrafted quarterback of all time. The greatest undrafted player of all time, in my opinion. From the University of Northern Iowa. Now, Tom Brady's the greatest draft steal because he was drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft. With the 199th pick. So yeah. Peyton Manning is another talented quarterback. He's the second best quarterback in my opinion. And I remember Edgerrin James and Tiki Barber. I liked Tiki Barber and Fred Taylor as running backs and Priest Holmes. At the time I did. I don't really remember now. Know what he's up to now. LaDainian Tomlinson was my favorite running back though, so. Remember Clinton Portis. Again, sorry for showing any offensive team names and logos. I say I don't really, at the time, because I don't remember if Priest Holmes got into any trouble or not. I hope he didn't. So, remember Isaac Bruce and Marvin Harrison. Tony Gonzalez is, in my opinion, the second best tight end of all time. The best is Rob Gronkowski. I know Terrell Owens is pretty controversial, but he's one of the best wide receivers of all time. Keyshawn Johnson's another great. Mushin Muhammad, I remember him. Ember Hines Ward. Actually, the first Super Bowl I think he played in, the first Super Bowl I watched, he played in, so. I know Chad Johnson is another one. That was pretty controversial. I know when they weren't being offensive, Chad and Terrell Owens used to crack me up as a kid, though. But then again, I was kind of immature as a kid. So I remember Reggie Wayne and Steve Smith and Anquan Bolden. A specific receiver I'm trying to see if I can find. Not sure if he'll show up because he's technically a free agent in this game, but so I actually have a book, like the ESPN College Basketball Encyclopedia, and it talked about a lot of the great. It talked about every Division I school that was in the game in the book at the time, and Ronald Curry was in it. But I remember Julius Jones and Larry Johnson, but Ronald Curry's not the one I was thinking of. Remember Willis McGahee and Malcolm Jenkins, Michael Jenkins, sorry. Okay, it doesn't look like they'll have the guy because he's a free agent. But his name was Reggie Swinton. And he is in this game. I know this because I looked in the free agent section to see what team he was a part of. And I can say I met him. Remember Terry Glenn, Zach Thomas, and Ray Lewis, arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. No, he was involved in some controversy. I'm not qualified to go into it. So Adam Vinatieri's a good kicker. Jason Hansen, remember him? Dave Akers, if I remember correctly, was one of the few left-footed kickers I've seen in the NFL. And same with Sebastian Janikowski. And I remember that because the reason I noticed that is because I'm left-footed. And I'm left-handed. Ooh, Tom Tua, who's... Okay, so he's a free agent, but... Let's see if they actually have him. Yeah, you can't. Never mind, don't worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it, so. Depth chart, let's see. Shit, I wanted to check out free agents. So, oh well. Go to calendar. We can play the next game against the Tennessee Titans. Actually, I'm gonna hop off, y'all. If I ever say anything offensive, I do apologize. I have to hop off because it's getting late and I have some homework to do. I thought I had more time to stream, but I don't.